On September 3rd, Councilmember Costa Constantinides held a press conference at the corner of 37th Street and 28th Avenue in Astoria to announce the implementation of a neighborhood slow zone in Astoria, which will contribute in making streets safer and especially the pedestrians with the installation of speed bumps, gateway intersection treatments, and slow zone pavement markings. At the site of the press conference, the first street bumps have already been installed along 37th Street between 28th Avenue and Astoria Boulevard. The project, which is already underway, is being carried out by the Department of Transportation, and it will cover 55 blocks from Astoria Boulevard to 30th Avenue South and Steinway Street to 21st Street West. By the end of September, the DOT will complete the installation of 14 speed bumps, 20 gateway intersection treatments, and 20 miles per hour pavement markings. The implementation of these street safety measures come in response to the many concerns of Astoria residents, which were brought to the attention of Councilmember Costa Constantinides about cars often speeding and causing dozens of injuries in these residential blocks. Councilmember Constantinides took the necessary steps so that slow zone safety measures are also implemented in these residential areas. He has worked very closely with DOT's Queensborough Commissioner Nicole Garcia, who has played an instrumental role in the fruition of this project. Councilmember Costa Constantinides, always a busy bee. A new project has been announced today, street bumps. Tell us a little bit more about it.
And we're really excited about this slow zone that's going to be implemented here in southern Astoria. From Astoria Boulevard to 30th Avenue as the southern border, from 21st Street to Steinway Street, we're going to see a slow-mo zone implemented at 20 miles an hour. There'll be gateway signage, there'll be 14 new speed bumps that are added to the streets here, and there'll really be a message sent that this is a residential neighborhood, that this is where people live. These were people raising their families. This is not a highway to the Grand Central Parkway or from the Grand Central Parkway to the Queensborough Bridge. This is a residential community that deserves to have their noise levels respected, have their traffic, have their personal safety respected. And the number one calls I've gotten from this corridor since being elected and prior to being elected were about the high rates of speed.
And I noticed that on 21st Street and 28th Avenue, they already placed a traffic light there following the non-stop accidents. Were you part of that?
Absolutely. That's part of our plan for 21st Street. We were able to implement with DOT as well, the new traffic light on 29th Avenue and 21st Street. The curb extensions, I'm sure you've seen those as well. We've had those to help shorten the cross. The LPIs, which you'll see the traffic light, it being green 8 seconds before the light changes for the cars, so pedestrians have an opportunity to get across the street at a quicker rate, so there's not that race between the car and the pedestrians. So we made some real changes on 21st. We're going to see more. They put the parking lines as well. I don't know if you saw the new painting there. So a lot of good things coming to 21st Street, a lot of good things coming to this corridor as well.
How is the project by the water coming along?
Which one? Astoria Cove? The ferry we announced earlier this year. It's right now in environmental review, but our plan, and as part of the mayor's 5-borough ferry plan, is to see the ferry come into fruition in 2017.
Anything else you would like to share with us today?
Well, I just want to let everyone know that we're going to be starting participatory budgeting. It's never too early to start thinking about next year. So we're going to have 4 dates for participatory budgeting at Bohemian Hall on September 16th, at the Boulevard Gardens Community Room on September 17th, at the Boulevard Center on Astoria Boulevard and 75th Street on the 21st, and then on the 30th of September in Astoria Houses Community Room. Last year we had 2,200 residents vote, which was in one of the higher numbers in New York City for a council district to be part of participatory budgeting. In our first year, we had 3 projects that won. We're looking forward to seeing the community being even more involved this time around. So if someone has an idea for a capital project, we want them to come and see how we should spend their $1 million.
Thank you, Councilmember Constantinides.
Elena, thank you always. AKTINA always is a great voice for the Greek community, and we're proud to support you, and we need to keep you around many, many years to come.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Neighborhood slow zones are an application-based program in which neighborhoods from across the city are selected to have their speed limits reduced to 20 miles per hour. Slow zones use a combination of gateways, 20 miles per hour markings, and speed bumps to calm traffic and boost safety in residential areas. The neighborhood slow zone in Astoria will be DOT's 8th slow zone in Queens. These efforts in the world's borough come as the implementation of key components in the city's Vision Zero efforts continue along corridors citywide. Ms. Garcia, congratulations on this very important and safe project. Just tell us a little bit more about your involvement in this project.
Sure. So actually, neighborhood slow zones begin with the community. We received an application by Queens Transportation Alternatives, and they submitted it to the community board, and we looked at it. We looked at the limits and found that it was feasible. You know, we look at the number of schools, senior centers, pedestrian activity, crash ratings, etc., how many crashes have happened in a neighborhood. And my planners and engineers take a look at that data, and we found that it was really suitable. People were using these streets in the Astoria slow zone as cut-throughs to get to the highways in between. And we want to make streets safer as part of Vision Zero, so we implement it. We add speed bumps, signage, and fresh markings.
Well, I noticed that the first bump is up and people are already going fast, and then they realize, oh, there's a bump here. So it's obvious that it was necessary.
Speed bumps are really effective tools in traffic calming because they're almost self-enforcing. Like you said, people are driving down a block and they see it and they know to slow down. In the coming days and weeks, you'll see some markings. You'll see more speed bumps. We're going to get a 14 total, and also a lot of crosswalks. We use the markings to send visual cues to drivers to slow down. So you'll see markings on the street that say 20 miles per hour, and also slow.
Now, you said earlier that this project did not cost anything extra, and it's part of your budget.
Yes. So this project is we use signs and markings and also asphalt to install the speed bumps. So it's really a cost of doing business. I mean, we have the asphalt, we have the signs, so it's part of our operating budget.
Is there anything else that you're working on that you would like to share with us?
So we are working on the first section of the Queens Boulevard pedestrian and bike safety improvements. We have a lot of other major intersection redesigns happening across the borough. They're reflective of the input that we receive, such as the safety concerns that we've heard from Astoria. We're looking to install more speed bumps across the borough, refresh markings, etc.